Hi guys, Brett Manning here, trustee of the new Aussie Constitution Trust. The new Aussie Constitution is a proposed draft replacement to the current Australian Constitution, and it's been developed outside of government and outside of political parties. It's a constitution designed by Australians for Australians. Now, if you follow this channel, you'll realise I have not put out a video for a while. It's currently the 15th of October 2023, the day after the referendum on Indigenous voice to Parliament. So I've stayed off the channel for the last month to provide an opportunity for Australians to consider this change, and they have voted overwhelmingly to reject it. Now, if you also followed this channel previously, you'll know that the new Aussie Constitution draft included an Indigenous voice to Parliament, which was written into the draft long before the government brought out its proposal. And the new Aussie Constitution has also been amended about a month ago to reflect the debate on the voice to Parliament and to provide changes and lessons learnt from the debate that was going on in the public arena. What that demonstrated was that it was possible to make changes to the voice proposal that could have made it more acceptable for more Australians. But as it was, the government stuck to its original proposal and it's paid the price. The proposal's been rejected. And it's been rejected fairly soundly. So even if it was managed properly, I think there is a fair chance that it would have been line ball in any event. The feeling that I did get from listening to the debate and listening to people around me is that there was quite extensive support for the recognition of Indigenous Australians in the Australian Constitution. I think there was a lot more support for that than there was for the mechanism of the voice. I think that's important. Now, as the decision was so emphatic, the new Aussie Constitution Trust has issued a new revision of the new Aussie Constitution today, where the Indigenous voice to Parliament has been removed from the wording. But we are maintaining Indigenous recognition in the Constitution, which, as I said, I think aligns with Australians' feeling on this subject. So from my point of view, this referendum has been a learning experience that has underscored the basis on which we are developing the new Aussie Constitution. And we've learnt some significant lessons from how the government managed their proposal. I think the first and foremost lesson is that you must respect the Australian people by providing details of your proposal. It's not good enough to say she'll be right. Australians expect to see the detail, and that's why with the new Aussie Constitution we have only ever had a full, complete draft available for discussion. Nothing's hidden. It's all out there for discussion. The second learning is always be prepared to listen, and don't disrespect other people or their views just because they don't align with yours. The third lesson, I think, is be prepared to accept criticism and be prepared to acknowledge when there are problems with your proposal. You need to acknowledge those problems and you need to work as best you can to minimise the problems. The government, with its recent proposal, refused to even consider that there were problems, and certainly refused to make any changes to their proposal. And we know that changes could have been made because we made changes to the new Aussie Constitution as this process was unfolding to reflect what we were learning from the public debate. Number 4 is it is important to focus on the proposal itself and sell its merits. And lastly, don't play identity politics. Put you into a group, categorise you, and then disregard you because you're in that group. Australians don't like it. And I also don't think they like it when people demonise people because they have a different point of view or try and shame them into making a decision. Whatever your proposal is, focus on your proposal and its merits. So I would hope that the new Aussie Constitution Trust has always operated with these rules in mind. But if you ever wanted a lesson in what happens when you don't follow those rules, I think we've just seen it. We took a proposal that had about a 60% support level and crushed it down to 40%. If it was better managed, better prepared, better detailed, whether Australians would have supported an Indigenous voice to Parliament, hard to say. But I do know that that opportunity was lost, largely due to poor management of the process. So, we have a new draft, new Aussie Constitution available for you to view. Go to our website at www.newaussieconstitution.com.au. We'd welcome your opinions. We welcome your feedback. We welcome your questions. So get in contact with us. The Indigenous voice to Parliament was an important question to put to Australians. That's been done now. But I would argue that there are many more important questions that are raised by the current Australian Constitution and the deficiencies that exist in it. And I think the best way to address those is with a replacement Australian Constitution. So I'm looking forward to getting your feedback and continuing to develop the draft new Aussie Constitution. Thanks very much for your time.